Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel and thank you for being here today. Today's video is going to be a fragrance review video. It's long overdue. I think the last time I posted a fragrance review video, it was about a month ago. And it's just really because I honestly, even though I'm a mother of 3, I did not realize that Mother's Day was so close, and so I had to hurry up and order a bunch of supplies. I do have a Mother's Day gift box available on my Etsy shop, so I'll go over that later, but I just have been really busy. I've got a lot of new fragrance oils, and I've been making candles and wax melts with those, so forgive me. I'm here now. I've got about, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10... I've got about 12 fragrances to go over, but like always, I will go ahead and put it on a scale of 1 to 5, 5 being the highest, 1 being the lowest, and of course, you know my favorites are always a 10, and I do have a couple of those today. So I've got a mixture of fragrances. I have 7, actually 8 with the sample, 8 fragrances from the Flaming Candle, and then I have 2 fragrances from Candle Science, and also I have a fragrance from my shop that I'm always shit talking in my videos, which is Fillmore. I'm going to give them credit for 1 scent that they have 2 that I like, and I'll go over that one too. But so I just want to get started. Again, I apologize. I never do the top notes, middle notes, or base. I just kind of describe the scent as I feel it is, and whether the hot throw is good, if it's a popular scent, that kind of stuff. But I do have 1 scent, and I'm not going to show you yet, but it is a very different scent. I don't know if anybody would be interested in purchasing that, but because it is such a different scent, I do have Candle Science's website open, and I will tell you the notes in that particular fragrance oil when I get to that one. All right, so anyway, I want to start out with, let me just start out with this first one here, Karma. So this one here was a sample that I got in my last order, and the name really stood out to me, and I like that name. I like the name Karma. I think that's kind of interesting. Actually, I'm going to go to a Flaming Candle because I get earthy tones with it, but I don't quite, let me just look it up on the computer. I don't quite know how to describe that one. It's not bad. It's a nice scent, and I'm actually thinking about using it in the future for a possible tarot candle. I have 4 scents in the tarot candles right now, and I'm actually kind of debating on whether or not I want to add that as maybe a 5th scent, but it has more of a holiday scent to it for me. So let me go here and see what it says. All right. Oh, okay. Earthy patchouli blended with refreshing lemongrass, orange oil, and pine to create a clean and lovely scent. So your top note is citrus and lemongrass, middle note is patchouli, and bottom note is musk. So yeah, that makes sense. It is an earthy. I can now that I know that it's patchouli, I can really pick that up. It's this is patchouli with a twist with just a touch of citrus. Okay, interesting. So honestly, I've never tried this yet, obviously. This is the sample. I'll probably make a couple of small, maybe wax melts, the little bitty ones to try with it. I don't think I'm going to do a candle with it, but it doesn't smell bad. If you like patchouli and you like those earthy scents, it's a twist on patchouli is what I would call it, a twist on patchouli. I didn't know that that's what it was when I first smelled it, but once I read that, it hit me right away. So I would definitely, as far as just the smell out of the bottle, I would definitely give it probably a 5. So I'm interested in trying that one. So definitely something that I'm considering for the future for my tarot candles. So the next one might as well go right into it, right? The patchouli. So this one here, okay, I bought this from Flaming Candle, and I have probably had patchouli from at least 3, maybe not 4, maybe 4 companies that I've tried patchouli over this past year. And it started out, my obsession with it started out during the holiday season. I wanted it for Christmas, and it's just become a staple, and I really, really like the scent, which is actually, I'm surprised that I didn't pick it up in this one, because I love patchouli. This one threw me off. I didn't quite get that. But once I knew it was in there, I did. So this one here is a really good scent. I used it for my tarot candles. Just a very, very nice patchouli. There's not a whole lot from Flaming Candle that I get that I don't like. However, there's more of a men's cologne type vibe to it than what I would like. It's more cologne than earthy or woodsy to me. So I remembered back during the Christmas season, I ordered from Fillmore, my least favorite candle supply company, because their fragrances are so hit and miss. You just don't know what you're going to get, and I've had more misses than hits with them. I've probably ordered 3 fragrances, maybe out of 10, that I could use. And when I say I could use, I mean the other ones were so horrid, I had to dispose of them. I couldn't even use them. So one of the scents that I do like from Fillmore is their patchouli. So this one here is probably my favorite one. It is just straight patchouli. I mean, it is original. Definitely their little label says true scent. It is very true to the scent. This is more woodsy. What I've been doing lately when I had to re-up my supply on my tarot candles, I've been combining these two. And it's been working so far. I think once this is gone, I'm going to keep with this one and just continue to make it with this one. Now, recently I had wax melts in my shop, and I had both of these. I had this one and I had this one. And I had one lady order a patchouli wax melt, and I sent her both. And I put in the card. I actually had sent her a message on Etsy, and before I sent it out, and I asked her, I said, you know, I want to send you 2 of these patchoulis. I'll label them for you. One's an older scent, one's a newer scent. Could you try them both and let me know what you think? And I actually did that with 3 customers, and I sent them both, all 3 of them, both of these fragrances, and there was only one that actually preferred this one. The other 2 preferred this one. And so this is the one I think I'm going to stick with, because I'm just mixing them because I happen to have both of them. But once the Flaming Candle is gone, I'm going to switch over to this one. But having said that, I'm going to give this a 4. It's still a good hot throw. It's still a good scent in the room. It's not a bad scent. It's not a bad scent at all. It's really, really nice, but it does have a heavy cologne smell to it, and I don't like that. So we knocked out 2 at once. All right, so the next one I want to go over is the Blackberry Sage from Flaming Candle. This one here is unbelievably good. Oh man, that is so good. It is, to me, it is pure blackberry. It's fruit. The fruit gets you at first, and then you get hints of sage. It's a very, very refreshing blackberry. That's the only, it's like a citrus blackberry is what I can describe it as, and it's really, really good. That sage is almost citrusy to me. This is one of my favorite fragrances from Flaming Candle. This is a really good one. I'm also using this in my tarot candles. This is actually a tarot candle scent, but I do have wax melts in it, and I do have just the regular candles that I made that are on my Etsy shop as well, because this is such a popular scent. And I am going to say that the hot throw is like a 10. Okay, the hot throw is amazing. And it's funny because I forgot all about this scent. This is the second time I've had this. So I had a Blackberry and Sage candle sitting on my shelf. I don't know how long it had been there. I forgot about it. It has never sold up until recently, and it finally did sell. And when I got that order, I was like, oh God, do I even have Blackberry and Sage? I forgot all about that. So I looked on my shelf, I found it, I opened it up, and I smelled it, and oh my God, I like fell over. I could not believe how strong it was, and it had probably sat on my shelf for probably a few months. So I do believe that this is one of those scents that the longer it sits, the stronger it gets. It had a really different, completely different smell than what it does out of the bottle. It's the same smell, but it's stronger, and it was a really good scent. And so at that point, that was when I had decided I was going to go ahead and buy another bottle. Actually, I bought 2 of these, and I was going to use that in my tarot candle for a fragrance, and I restocked my shelf, and I have tried one of the wax melts, and it's great. I love it. So this one's a 10. So my favorites are 10s on a scale of 1 to 5. So now the next one here is Baja Cactus Blossom. This one here I will be buying again because I absolutely love this one too. Oh God, it's just it's sweet and it's floral together. But I don't know what they use in this one, the blend. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna have to look this one up because it is so good, and I want you guys to know exactly what's in it. And if I'm not mistaken, I think that Flaming Candle is out of stock right now. That's another thing I wanted to ask you guys, if you noticed that it was really, it's hard right now to get candle supplies. Everything is out of stock, and I don't know why. I don't know if there's just a high demand for it or what. All right, so yeah, flowers, coconut, and musk and sandalwood. And this is actually inspired by the Bath and Body Works fragrance. Yeah, so top note is green and citrus, middle is coconut and floral, and bottom is musk and woodsy. This is a beautiful blend. I don't know if I get any of the wood, but oh, this is just perfect. Whatever they did when they mixed this, they did it perfectly. I don't know. This is a 10 too. I love this scent. I have not tried it in the candle yet, but I have done the wax melts, and the wax melts are probably one of my favorites that I have in stock right now. My favorites are always changing, but this is actually one of my favorites right now. I'm so happy that I bought 2 of these, 16 ounces when I bought it. This one here is still pretty full, and I think I'm going to actually make some wax melts for myself with this one because I love this one so much. So that one is definitely highly recommended. And let me see, are they out of stock? No, they actually have it. Oh wow, they actually have it. The last time I checked on here, when I wanted to order another bottle, they were out of stock, and I can see why. I can see why they're out of stock on this one. That's a good one. Another good one that I love from Flaming Candle is the Tobacco and Bay Leaf. This one here, the name doesn't give it justice. It really doesn't. This one here has a very unique, fresh, clean scent. There's nothing tobacco about it to me. When you think of tobacco, or at least when I think of tobacco, I'm thinking of, you know, like that woodsy sandalwood type smell I would expect. This is all fresh. This is very similar to the basil, mint, and sage, and I think I covered the basil, mint, and sage in one of my other videos. It is very similar to that. It's a very clean, almost citrus, very fresh, refreshing scent. It would be great in a bathroom or a bedroom. I use it all over the place. I absolutely love it. It has a really good hot throw. In fact, the wax melts are probably, I've noticed, I mean, I use 16%, but 1 cube or 2 cubes for a pretty large room is sufficient. This is very strong. But it is one of my favorite scents, and I ended up buying 2 of these bottles as well because this is actually the second time or maybe even the third time that I've ordered this particular scent. And I wanted to have it last because I do have a couple of customers that absolutely love this fragrance. So then we have another good one, the orange sherbet. So the orange sherbet, the only way I can describe this is it is an exact replica of an orange popsicle. This is an orange popsicle to the T. It makes you hungry when you smell it. That's how close it is. I've noticed with Flaming Candle, anything with fruit or food, they tend to knock it out of the park. They replicate that scent to the T. They're pretty good about doing that. And this orange sherbet I thought would be a really good kind of nostalgic scent for the summer, and I really, really loved it. I wasn't quite sure how I would like it in a candle, and I have not burned a candle. I've got candles in my shop, but I haven't burned a candle. However, I was a little bit hesitant, and I didn't think I would like the wax melts because I don't know. It smells like an orange sherbet in the bottle, but it smells even better when it's burning, if that makes sense. So when I tried, I actually had a little sample of the orange sherbet wax melts, and I tried it in the living room one day, and I was pleasantly shocked about how much I did enjoy it. It's a different scent. It still has that orange sherbet smell to it, but it's I don't know if you would necessarily go into a room and say, oh, it smells like orange sherbet in here, but it is a very nice sweet scent to it, and I really ended up enjoying it. And so I actually purchased 2 of these as well, and I'm actually glad that I did because I am now into my second bottle, and this one's half gone. Really, really, really good scent. I really like this one. This one's a 10 too. The only thing I want to say with this one, and you can't really see because it's in this bottle, but the fragrance oil itself is very almost orange, and it pretty much made my candles come out orange. And I didn't put any dye in my candles. I don't dye my candles. I leave them white, but I can see all of my orange sherbet candles on the shelf because they're not orange, but they have like a light pale yellow color to them. And I'm not surprised because when I first poured the fragrance oil into my measuring container, I could tell right away that this fragrance oil had an orange tint to it. And so, if you don't, it didn't bother me. I don't mind. It just looks like I dyed my candles, but that doesn't bother me. And I dyed my orange sherbet wax melts orange anyways, and so that kind of masked it. But if you are making something that you don't want to have that color to it, then I wouldn't go for this one because it does come out a slight pale yellow orange color. I should have brought one here so you could see it, but I didn't even think about it. So I do want to say that. But as far as fragrance wise, very, very good one. Nice summer one. And then I have, okay, so I'll do these at the same time. So I have a sugar lemon. Nope, that's the wrong one. Lemon verbena and a sugar lemon. So I had a couple of customers request something with lemon. They didn't specify what kind of lemon they wanted. So I went on and I purchased the lemon verbena and the sugar lemon. Now, with the lemon verbena, I don't know what verbena is supposed to smell like. I've never smelled verbena, so I just don't know. Out of the bottle, it's okay. It's good. It's very citrusy. It's very strong. It's true to its name. It's true lemon. And when I first got it, I liked it. However, I did immediately, because I liked it so much, I tried it in the wax melts that I made. And it's okay for me. I don't mind so much, but there were other people in this home, my husband, that did not care for the lemon verbena because it was so strong. So I had it going on in the bedroom, and it was really, really intense. And so I actually ended up switching it out because it just was so strong. This is a very, very strong fragrance. So I actually went back to my shop and I put in the description that I would start out with 1 cube. So I used the same amount of fragrance oil in these wax melts that I do in any other wax melts. It's 16% in my melts, but it was almost maybe too much. It could have probably been either lowered, or you definitely want to use 1 cube to start. And I cannot remember, I think I was using a 2-ounce sample that I had made for myself. So that's probably equal to 4 squares and 4 cubes. I don't know, because it was just the big 2-ounce one, and I plopped the whole thing down on the wax melter, and it was probably 2 times too much. I could have probably quartered it up and spread it around, but then it would have probably still been very strong. So like I said, it didn't bother me, and if you don't mind strong scents like that, it's probably okay. Now, I did have another customer, actually two customers, reach out to me, and they said the same thing. They said, I really like it, but it's strong. It's very, very strong. So this is something to take into consideration. If you're trying this, you might want to, I don't know, it might be okay, but I have not used it since then. I would be curious to see what maybe 1 cube would be like, but it's a good one. It's more citrus than anything. It's a lemon citrus. Now, I ran out of this one. I only had bought one at this point, and so I ran out of this one because I did not buy these at the same time. I bought the lemon verbena first. And then I started hearing, this feedback that it was kind of strong. It was, really lemony. And so I went back after I had finished this bottle, and I decided to try the sugared lemon. The sugared lemon is much better to me. I like this one a lot better. Yeah, this one's a nice one. This one's sweet. This one is, obviously, it's probably got that vanilla in there and sugar, and you can smell that, and it's still a lemon scent, but it just kind of tones that lemon scent down quite a bit. And it's not as strong as the lemon verbena. So I think if I were to keep lemon in my shop, it would probably be this one. I have yet to try, I think there's a lemon and lavender, if I'm not mistaken, and I think that there's a lemon pound cake that I would like to try. I don't know what else they have. I'm sure I've seen a couple of things with lemon on there, but I think I would like to try the lemon pound cake just to experiment with it and kind of compare to this one. But if I were to keep the lemon in my shop, it would be the sugared lemon. I like this one. It just has that sweetness to it, and it's a little bit toned down, and it's not so much of that harsh citrus scent that the lemon verbena is. But then again, if you like that, then that would probably be perfect for you. But this one I like. This one's really nice. And as a matter of fact, I ended up using the sugared lemon in my Mother's Day bundles because I actually found these jars on Amazon, and it came in a bundle of, or a box of 9, and so that's how many Mother's Day gift bundles I made, and I did 3 in each. I did 3 scents and 3 in each scent. So sugared lemon was actually one of the ones that this is fresh roses, but I've got sugar lemon, fresh roses, and April Downy. But yeah, that's a really nice scent. I like that one. Okay, so I think that's all of the Flaming Candle fragrances, so that didn't take too long. So now, and I went over Fillmore. All right, so now we've only got 2 left. We've got Candle Science scents. So the first one here is White Sage and Lavender, and I would give that, by the way, let me go back. Lemon Verbena, I'm giving them a 3, and Sugared Lemon, I'm giving it a 5. So not my top choices, but they're still okay. So this one here is the White Sage and Lavender from Candle Science, and On a scale of 1 to 5, I would probably give this a 3. And I love Candle Science. I love their fragrances. There's certain fragrances that I have purchased from Flaming Candle as well as Candle Science, and I prefer Candle Science over Flaming Candle. Rose is one of those fragrances that I will only purchase from Candle Science. But this one here, it's very, I guess the word I'm looking for, I don't know what it is, harsh. It's a very harsh on the sage side. It's almost, it's too much sage, and it's not a true sage, if that makes sense. So the one that I recommend, the one that I like the best, is actually the California Sage and Lavender from California Candle Supply Company. That is my absolute all-time favorite white sage and lavender. It gets a 10 all the way. It is distinctly different than this one. This one here almost smells like a cheap knockoff to the California Candle Supply white sage and lavender fragrance oil. So I have this as one of my tarot candle scents, and I'm so disappointed that I introduced that candle with this particular fragrance oil. I wish I had just purchased the one that I normally get, which is from California Candle Supply Company, because it is so much better. It's not a horrible smell, but it's definitely not like that other one. That other one from California Candle Supply Company is really good. It has a unique smell to it. It's a beautiful combination, a perfect combination of lavender and white sage. Neither one of them overpower the other. It's a perfect blend, and it has a unique blend to it. And the hot throw in it is phenomenal. It is so good. The wax melts last for a long time. This one here, the hot throw is okay. And it seems like everybody who has purchased a white sage and lavender candle or wax melt seems to enjoy it. But I think that's just because they don't have the other one to compare to. I think that if, they had them both side by side in a product, they would, maybe not, but they would possibly prefer the other one. It just has a way better smell than this. So this one here I'm not fond of, and I won't get this one again. So the other one, and I saved this one for last, and that's the one I wanted to go over. And, well, I guess I have it on my phone. This is another scent that I purchased for my tarot candles, and that is Dragon's Blood. So this is a different one, a unique one. I wasn't even necessarily sure as to what I was expecting with Dragon's Blood. I know that smell when I walk into a metaphysical shop and, the incense are burning, and so that's kind of what I envisioned in my mind, and that is what you get. I really, really like this one. I don't have another one to compare it to. This is the first Dragon's Blood fragrance oil that I've tried. I'm not disappointed. I really, really, really like this. This is a very earthy fragrance, and I thought that that would be perfect for the tarot candles. So let me look here. It is... Okay, so the top notes are orange and orange blossom. Middle notes are cedar, patchouli, and clove. And the base is incense and tonka bean. So I can really smell the orange. I can smell the patchouli. I can smell the clove. And maybe the cedar. I don't know if I smell the tonka bean or the incense, but it's really a good combination of them all. I really, really like it. It's not overbearing. It's not strong. And I actually went on, when I purchased it, I went on the reviews, and I read the reviews from a lot of people, and I was hesitant at first to even get it because some of the reviews weren't that great. A couple of people actually said it was so strong that they were getting a headache when they were making it. It filled their house up and they just couldn't take the smell of it. I had no experience like that whatsoever with this one. If there's any scent to me that really filled up the house, it would have been this lemon verbena. And even that, it didn't bother me when when I was making the candles or wax melts. But that one, and I would say Fruit Loops is another strong one. And usually when I'm making Fruit Loops, if my kids are at work and they come home, they're like, oh, it's Fruit Loops in here, right? They can smell it right away. It's very, very strong, and they recognize it. So if there's any scents that are strong enough to the point to where you might get a headache when you're making it, it would be something like that. I didn't get that impression or that kind of scent from this at all. It's a mellow scent. It's strong, but it's mellow. I have not tried this as far as the hot throw because I did not make wax melts with this. This was just strictly for the tarot candle. So I should have probably made a small candle just as a tester. I did not. I have sold it a few times and I've always gotten a good feedback from it. Or I have gotten a good feedback from it from the couple people who purchased it. But I'm really happy with this, and if this continues to sell well, I'll continue to keep Dragon's Blood in the shop. Really different scent, and I really, really enjoyed it. So I think that's it, guys. Just again to, actually, I brought a Dragon's Blood candle. It's got the blue sodalite in there, the blue sodalite crystals. Yeah, that's a really, really nice scent. Very not overpowering at all. I don't really get what people are saying about the headaches because this is just a nice earthy scent. It goes in that category of patchouli and maybe frankincense, but it doesn't quite smell like either one of those. It's just, I really, really like it. It's a really good scent. I definitely smell the orange. I think that might be what I'm picking up that I like so well is that orange. But yeah, so I think that's everything. I went over the Karma. Just again to go over what I use for my candles, wax for my candles. I use C3 wax. It's a soy wax. I get that from either Flaming Candle or the last couple of times I had to get it from the Lone Star because, like I said earlier in the video, supplies are hard to get right now. I just was lucky enough to find some wicks in stock on Candle Science the other day. I use a CD18. These are the jars that I use. You could probably get away with, this is a 16-ounce candle, and I could probably get away with doing a CD20. But I noticed that the bigger you get, the more soot it produces and the bigger mushroom. So I usually just do the CD18 and that seems to work okay. I have not been able to get CD18s for a while and I was getting really low. I was down to my last 2 wicks last week and I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And I happened to go on Candle Science one night and thankfully they had them in stock. So I hurried up and I bought a bag of 100. I tried to buy 2 bags, but they didn't even have enough inventory to cover the 2 bags, and so I just got a bag of 100, which I'm thankful for. Everything has been out of stock. It's hard to get wax right now. It's hard to get jars. It's hard to get lids. It's hard to get everything. Even clamshells. I usually order all my clamshells from Amazon. I've never had a problem with getting clamshell containers for my wax melts from Amazon. For whatever reason, even that is becoming challenging, and so I'm now trying to look into different alternatives for those wax melt clamshells. I don't know if I want to necessarily go to the bars that I see some people doing. It just seems kind of time consuming to do something like that. I like the clamshells for just the convenience and the quickness of it, and it's just usually what everybody's used to as far as wax melts in the store. That's how they see wax melts sold. And so I do like the clamshells, but Amazon is becoming very challenging to get them from. I do know that I can buy them on Candle Science. I think I can buy 90 of them for $29, which is it's cheaper than Amazon right now. The ones that I have been purchasing from Amazon in the past, it's a little bit more expensive, but I don't know what happened with Amazon and their clamshells. The prices just went sky high. It literally doubled overnight, and so I can no longer afford to buy them on Amazon, so I'm going to have to find something else to do. But I just recently bought a bag of the CD18 wicks, so I don't know. I don't know what's going on. But Anyway, I use the CD18 with these candles. For this candle here, I used CD10. So I usually stick with the CD series wicks. That's what works best for me. I have tried the Eco, I have tried the HTP. I didn't have any luck with either one of those. I have yet to try any other type of wick. It's just so expensive to keep trying and testing, and then, you know, buying 15 wicks for $4 and spend shipping to get it. You know, it adds up. You guys know it adds up when you're trying different things with candle making. So I do use the C3 wax. I guess that's what I was saying. C3 wax for my candles. I use 10% fragrance oil. I do add Vibar 260 for that so that I can increase that fragrance oil to the 10%. I think it might be max. They recommend, is it 8 or 12, or maybe 8 or 10 per, no, I think it's 6 to 8%. I think they recommend don't go over 8%. So I do use the Vibar for that purpose, and I also use the Vibar to help with my glass adhesion, because when you're using glass jars, things like this, you cannot hide. And so it helps very minimally. I can tell you that right now. I'm not really happy with the glass adhesion from the Vibar 260, but it does help with the hot throw, and it does help with holding that extra fragrance oil. So for the tart wax, I used the Pro Blend 650 from Flaming Candle. I'm trying to think if anybody else sells the Pro Blend 650. I don't think so. I think that's the only place that I get the, at least as far as I know. I don't think I can get that from Lone Star. I don't think so. I think I've only been able to purchase the Pro Blend 650 from Flaming Candle. So if anybody else knows another company that you can get that from, please tell me in the comment section, because sometimes it's out of stock as well, and then I'm just shit out of luck for tart wax. So for my wax melts, I use 16% fragrance oil. That seems to work really well, except for with the lemon verbena. It was a little bit too much. And then what else was I going to go over? I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. I wanted to go over the Vibar because somebody in the comment section had asked the other day as far as how much to use. I think the instructions on the website will tell you that it's about a half a teaspoon or a teaspoon per pound of wax. And so usually when I'm doing my candles, I'm doing a whole bunch of these big 16-ounce jars at a time. And so I fill up my Presto pot to the absolute top. I mean, when I say top, I utilize every inch of that Presto pot. And I can usually squeeze in about 6 pounds in that Presto pot. So I'm doing, usually I will do 2 to 3 batches of 6 pounds. So I can sometimes make 18 pounds of candles when I'm making a big batch, because these are so big. These take so much wax. I can fill up 9 jars with a full Presto pot, and that doesn't give me very many candles. So these jars are really big. They do take a lot of wax. But anyway, before I lose my train of thought, so when I have the 6 pounds in the Presto pot, I will usually do 6 half teaspoons of that Vibar, and then I'll mix it around. I wait for the wax to melt. When the wax melts, then I go ahead and I measure it. I use a measuring spoon, and then I stir it really well, and then I pour it into my pouring pitcher, and I add my fragrance oil or my dye or whatever. I usually don't dye anything except for my wax melts, and I actually do not use the Vibar 260 in my wax melts. There's really no need to for those. You don't have to worry about glass adhesion. You don't have to worry about hot throw, because Pro Blend is a paraffin blend wax, and so you don't have to worry too much about that not having a good hot throw, because that has, that's different from soy wax. And so I don't have any problems with that. I don't use it for that. But anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you have any questions, or if you've had any experiences with these fragrances yourself. Let me know what you think about this Karma being a tarot candle in the future, maybe. I don't know. Kind of interesting scent. Yeah, I like it though. Like I said, if you're a patchouli fan, you're going to like something like that. That's definitely the vibe that I'm getting from it. So, okay, I will leave a link in my Etsy shop if you want to check around and look. I thank you. If not, that's okay too. Anyway, I wish you all luck on your journey on making candles and wax melts. And have a great day, guys. Until next time.